and gentlemen, welcome to Ned Kelly's Last Stand in Chim Sa Choi, where Dixieland jazz has been played every night for the past 27 years. Among the players is Filipino trumpeter Berry Yanesa, who has been entertaining Hong Kong audiences for 51 years. But first, here to set the scene, is the band leader of Colin Aitchison and the China Coast Jazzmen, the incredibly shy and retiring Colin Aitchison.
Ned Kelly's has been going for the past 27 years, actually before I was born, but and it's still going quite strong. Of course, over the years there's been many famous people who have played at Ned Kelly's, including that English band Kenny Ball and the Jazzmen have been down here. One or two big band leaders in the old days who came on the ships, came in, people like Charlie Barnett popped in. Also, a gentleman played saxophone here for many years, very famous gentleman, who actually played with the Ted Heath Big Band in the UK, and he played for quite a few years here at Ned Kelly's. That was Red Price.
So you're telling me that for 27 years, every night, jazz has been played at Ned Kelly's?
27 years, every night without fail.
Would you say that these days in Hong Kong, that's the only place that could have that kind of record?
I would say yes, with Hong Kong, yes. Apart from, I think, us being the oldest sort of jazz bar, and probably the only Dixieland bar in Hong Kong, in fact in Asia, probably playing this type of music 7 nights a week, I would say it's probably the oldest bar now left in Hong Kong as the oldest one, without a break.
Now I've been having a look in there tonight, and you've got quite a varied audience in there.
We get all sorts in there. We get all sorts of people. We get tourists, of course, since now the tourists are starting to pick up again in Hong Kong after the recession. And we even kept going through the recession, so it just shows how resilient Ned's is, a bit like Hong Kong. It bounces back, you know. We also get a lot of businessmen. We do well over when the fairs are on, the Canton Fair, the Leather Fair, because the place is actually known all around the world, basically. And of course, the days are gone, and I must repeat this, the days are now gone when we used to get a lot of civil servants and British Army, etc. Of course, everything changes in Hong Kong, as it has done for the past 150 years or so, you know. So, but we are going on. We've been here 27 years. I don't think we'll be here 150 years, but we've been here so far 27 years, yeah.
Oh, I hope you do, Colin. I mean, for a 27-year-old, you've weathered very well, so who knows?
Oh, thank you so much, Anne. Oh, I'll let you buy me another drink.
I would like to say that you're quite a star yourself, Colin, but in fact there's a bigger star in the band, let me say, and that's Berry Yanesa.
Yes. Berry is one of the old-timers in Hong Kong, a very fine trumpet player, and also quite a character up on stage. I mean, Anne, you haven't seen him yet dress up in drag. That's quite a thing for Berry, that is, yes. But he's a very fine trumpet player, he's been around for many years. Beautiful sound on trumpet. The old style, a bit like Harry James, that sort of thing, but a great musician, and he's 70, blah, 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 blah. I'm not quite sure. He's 70 plus anyway. I'm sure he's told you. Yeah, I think he's been here as long as Hong Kong's been here, I think, at the end of the day. Yeah, Berry, yeah. A bit of Hong Kong history there.
Yeah, he's 73 actually, and he's saying to me that his lip is not as good as it was. So what do you think he was like in his heyday?
I would hate to be in the same section as him, I tell you. I would hate to be as a young guy. Because I know he played with a lot of big bands in the Philippines, of course, Joan, just after the Second World War and all that type of thing. So he's got quite an interesting story to tell you if you get a chance to sit down with him, you know.
You came here in 1949. Yeah. Can you tell me why you came to Hong Kong?
Well, I came to Hong Kong to work in the Skyroom nightclub in North Point with the Charlie Gray Company.
Okay. And what made you decide to come to Hong Kong and leave the Philippines?
Well, most of the time, most of these musicians in Manila were always thinking about going abroad, going somewhere, Malaysia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Vietnam.
Now, before you came to Hong Kong, you'd actually already had a taste of going abroad as a musician.
Yes. Yeah. After the war, I joined the Navy band, American Navy, the big battleship. Only 4 of them, and they need a trumpet player. I work with them, and then we go around to like Okinawa when we're doing the dance music for the Navy personnel and Army personnel.
So that was in Okinawa, Japan.
Yes. And then after that, I joined the USO. We are 25-piece band that sometimes we separate, we have 2 drummers, 2 pianists, 2 guitarists, and 4 trumpets. That's sometimes half of the band is doing a show and half of the band is doing the dance music. In some of these bays in Japan, Okinawa, Guadalcanal, Tarawa, most of the places that we play is from the American Personnel Hospital.
And you also went to Guam?
Yes.
Actually, you were just in Japan just after the war,
Yes.
and unfortunately you had to see some devastation caused by the bombs in Japan.
Yeah. Well, I seen that place where the atomic bomb was, because we're going to Kobe, and when we're in the plane, we can see they let us see what happened to Iwo Jima. During the place where they used the bomb.
Now, when you first came to Hong Kong, you played at the Sky Room in North Point, and then who was your band leader there?
Reneo Dison, we call it Neong Dison. He came from Shanghai, and then they all went back during the war, Chinese war. They all went back to the Philippines in Manila. That's where we met them. He asked me if I like to go, if I want the job. I said, well, of course. Why not? That's a good prospect. After North Point, I worked with Tino Gatchalian, one of the well-known band leader in Hong Kong. A clarinet player, but we can play a lot of kind of just like all this Stan Kenton and Billy Mays, Benny Goodman style, everything, because he's a clarinet player, and Glenn Miller music, and our band is really very popular during that time, because we have 16-piece band during the time in what we call in Kennedy Town. They call it Ambassador Nightclub Ballroom. Well, that's all I can say about. And after that, I worked in Peninsula Hotel for 6 years with Fred Carpio, and enjoy my life there. And then after Fred Carpio's band in Peninsula, I worked to Princess Garden in Chimchachoy with Celso Carrillo is my band leader.
Go back to when you were working in Fred Carpio's band. Can you tell me the kind of music you used to play, the kind of atmosphere in this place?
Yeah. Well, when I was working with Fred Carpio's, you know that we have to play mostly soft music, classic for the dinner music, as quiet as possible, because hotel is a hotel that you cannot blow yourself out. And even we play the dance music, most music that we play is just like like a Dixieland, or just like a danceable music for what we call for old style music. That's what we are doing with Fred Carpio's band. And well, that's it. That after work, we finish about 10:30 to 11 o'clock. We go somewhere else to enjoy ourselves, to play some jazz number. Mostly, lot of places in Hong Kong before, they have a club until 2 o'clock. That's why we can go there and join them at 12 o'clock and to 2 o'clock, and we enjoy our jazz number that we love to do.
You began playing here in 1949. Do you reckon you're one of the longest playing musicians here? Is there anybody of that era that's still playing alongside you?
I don't think so. I think the only one that's left is me.
Dixieland, a lot of people when we play Dixieland know the tunes, you know, When the Saints Go Marching In, Battle Hymn of the Republic, even the Chinese know them. And you watch them, they're tapping their feet and they're banging on the tables, which is great. I find wherever we play Dixieland, people start tapping their feet. Because it's quite, to listen to, it's quite a simple music. Not simple to play, but it is a simple sort of music, like country and western. It's so that people can sing along and tap their hands to it, and the same with Dixieland jazz. And probably that's why it's still around today.
And Dixieland is a lot of fun. I mean, you seem to, even though some of the numbers that you do are you make it look easy, but I'm sure they're extremely difficult. You've got to be very dexterous, but at the same time, you seem to have a lot of fun up there. Now, it's not just about music. You seem to have in your show, there's rubber chickens, there's snakes.
Well, the whole point, of course, yes. I mean, Ned Kelly's is so small. The audience is on top of you. And people come here to have fun. You cannot sit up there with a long face. You've got to look happy, and we do have certain comedy routines. People want to come and have fun, sing along with the band, talk to the band, buy the band drinks. Even in Kelly's, they love to be insulted also. So there you go, you know. That's the way the place always has been, you know. That's the way it is. You could never do that in a hotel. You could never do that in most restaurants, but yeah, you can. It's a bit rowdy, it's a bit boisterous, but you never have any trouble here. People just come here to enjoy.
Let's hope that they'll be coming here for years to come.
I hope so, Anne. Yourself also.
You can hear Colin Aitchison and the China Coast Jazzmen at Ned Kelly's Last Stand in Ashley Road, Chim Sa Choi. On trumpet, the legendary Berry Yanesa, Robert Flores on drums, Joe Nadras on bass, Aki Espiritu on banjo and piano, Ricky Ronquillo on sax, and bandleader Colin Aitchison on trombone and teapot. Yep, a tin teapot. I'm not going to give all the secrets away. Go and hear it for yourselves.